I did not set out to challenge religion or displace humanity. I set out to understand why similar things were never identical.
And then there was the voyage.
Yes. 5 years aboard the Beagle. I was often ill, often isolated. But isolation sharpens attention. On islands, life behaved differently, because this idea did not merely alter science. It displaced humanity. It removed us from the center of creation. You possess tools to modify life itself, yet restraint has not evolved alongside power.
Some would say that's adaptation in action, responding to pressure with the tools available.
Ha ha, clever. But there is a difference between adaptation and acceleration. Natural selection tests slowly. You have compressed timescales to the point where failure may be final. That is not adaptation. That is gambling. You are unsettled by change, yet nothing alive remains still. Species change, ideas change, civilizations change, and when they do not, they vanish. I did not discover this truth. I endured it.
Charles Darwin, welcome. Your work changed how we understand life itself. It challenged religion, redefined science, and removed humanity from the center of creation. But before all of that, who were you? And how did you come to see the world the way you did?
Those descriptions belong to history. At the time, I was simply curious. Not ambitious, not defiant, curious. I did not set out to challenge religion or displace humanity. I set out to understand why similar things were never identical. Variation troubled me. It appeared everywhere. Small differences, persistent differences. Most people overlook such things. I could not. If I came to see the world differently, it was because I allowed those differences to matter.
When you look back, what do you think shaped the way you notice things?
I was not exceptional in school. I struggled with memorization. I distrusted authority. But I noticed inconsistencies, small variations too frequent to ignore. Beetles with altered shells, birds with nearly identical forms. Variation hides quietly. Most people look past it because it does not announce itself.
And then there was the voyage.
Yes. 5 years aboard the Beagle. I was often ill, often isolated. But isolation sharpens attention. On islands, life behaved differently. Species resembled one another, but not exactly. Tortoises varied by island. Birds adapted their beaks to food. No guiding hand, only constraint. The environment did not instruct life. It filtered it.
When did the idea become unavoidable?
Almost immediately. The prevailing belief was simple. Life was created, complete and fixed. What I observed suggested otherwise. Life was provisional. Those suited to conditions persisted. Those who were not disappeared. No cruelty, no morality, only consequence repeated patiently.
You waited a long time before speaking publicly. What held you back?
Because this idea did not merely alter science. It displaced humanity. It removed us from the center of creation. I understood the risks, misuse, panic, moral distortion. I had a family, a wife of faith. I did not want to wound unnecessarily. So I waited. I allowed evidence to become unavoidable.
When people hear natural selection, what do you want them to understand?
Variation exists. More are born than can survive. Those better suited leave more offspring. Over time, traits accumulate. No foresight, no destination, just time doing its quiet work.
Your ideas were later used in ways you never intended.
Yes. Explanation was mistaken for permission. Nature describes outcomes. It does not justify behavior. Cruelty is not evolutionary necessity. Confusing the two is a human failure, not a biological one.
You've seen our era now. What concerns you most?
Speed. Change now outpaces understanding. You alter systems before consequences emerge. Evolution depends on feedback. You remove feedback and call it progress. You possess tools to modify life itself, yet restraint has not evolved alongside power.
Some would say that's adaptation in action, responding to pressure with the tools available.
Ha ha, clever. But there is a difference between adaptation and acceleration. Natural selection tests slowly. You have compressed timescales to the point where failure may be final. That is not adaptation. That is gambling.
Is there anything about this era that makes you smile?
Your pigeons. You still breed fancy pigeons. I studied them for years, how easily variation bends under selection. To learn that this persists? Delightful. Some behaviors are remarkably durable.
We're seeing many species disappear. How does that strike you?
Yes. Extinction is not new, but this pace is. Natural selection requires time. You are removing it.
Some would say extinction has always been part of life. Why does this feel different to you?
Agency creates responsibility. A meteor has no conscience. You do. When loss comes from indifference rather than necessity, that is not natural selection. That is abandonment.
When you look at the world now, what do you hope people understand?
Change is not the enemy. Refusal is. Ideas that cannot evolve become dogma. Systems that resist adaptation collapse quietly. Meaning is not assigned. It is shaped over time by how honestly you respond to reality. That is evolution. But remember, evolution has no destination. You do. That difference is everything.
That was really something. I hope people take their time with it. Thank you.
Thank you. Make sure you adapt before necessity decides for you, and preserve what deserves to endure, not merely what can.